about her own body. For every American and citizen here, many of whom not able to cast a vote freely and fairly in this election because our democracy is under attack. Those of you who come up to me and talked about school funding, our school boards, how our public tax dollars are used or misused, and not right now supporting our teachers and our retirees as they should be. A grid that is still not fixed as we go into this next winter. That failure killed more than 700 people in February of 2021. Against all of that are all of us. What we're going to do right now is make sure that we knock on the doors of those voters who can decide the outcome of this election. We're going to do that for ourselves, for our fellow Texans, and we are especially going to do that for these young children who are here with us right now, who do not get a vote or a voice in this election, but through the actions that we take. I just took a picture with Julie, who's in 5th grade. She was there with Jacqueline, who's in 4th grade, I believe. And Julie said, I wish I could vote for you in this election. Yes. The way that she can vote for us is through us, right? We're gonna get this done, Julie. And the way we're gonna do it is we're actually gonna be knocking on the doors of those who've been drawn out effectively of this democracy. The very targets of suppression, of intimidation, all these polling place closures and new voter ID laws and ballot drop-off regulations and vote by mail that is so hard to do for so many of those in our communities. Look, I know that many of you served our country in uniform. We're willing to put your lives on the line and very well lose them to preserve not a political party or a person in power, but this Constitution and our democracy. That's who you swore your oath to. In Texas, it is under greater attack than perhaps anywhere else. And I count us all so lucky to be following your tradition of service and sacrifice and struggle for this country in doing our small part right now. There are 31 days until this election is decided. Literally today is the 8th of October. It gets decided on the 8th of November. Early voting starts on the 24th. The last day to register is on Tuesday the 11th. These are the final days, and we must meet the moment with everything that we have, all that we are, with what we have, where we are right now at this moment, and that means being on the doors of these voters. And in our own words, from our own hearts, we can talk about what compelled us to come out today. Say, look, I'm standing up for world-class public school education, or I want to make sure that this state allows us to see a doctor, fill a prescription, go to a mental health care provider. I just want to make sure every woman is able to make her own decisions about her own body. And in a state which today has more school shootings than any other state in the union, I'm sad to say, where gun violence is the leading cause of death for kids and teenagers. And yes, it happens in our schools, it happens in these mass shootings that we read about, but it happens day in, day out in our communities. So numbingly common that names no longer make the newspapers, faces no longer appear on the news. It is as though we've accepted this as the price of living and maybe dying in the state of Texas. I know that our kids' eyes are upon us at this moment. It is their judgment that I fear more than anything else. And we're raising 3 of those little kids in El Paso right now, 15, 14, 11 years old. They are counting on me. They are counting on us right now. And you know what? We can do this. And think about it. If you'll go out there and follow Allison's lead, she's going to give us some brief instructions on how to knock on doors right now. If we'll go out and spend an hour, 2 hours, if you got it, and reach those voters where they are, I promise you, they are far more likely to vote than if you didn't show up at all. And this is the profound, powerful, poetic, political justice of what we're doing right now. The very voters who were drawn out of this democracy, we're going to bring them in and make them a margin of victory when we win this on election night. You all ready? We're going to get this done. We're going to do it together. We're not asking you to do anything that we are not going to do as well. So as we just did in Fort Worth, where we knocked on doors for about an hour and a half, we're going to go knock on doors in Killeen with you right now. We're going to go talk to and listen to those voters that we need to bring out. And we're going to remind each other, we're not a red state, and I don't know that we're a blue state. More than anything else, we are a non-voting state today. The only way to change that is to meet those future voters where they are. So thank you for doing this great work. Know that there are 700 meetings just like this taking place throughout the state of Texas over this weekend, the biggest weekend of action that we've had. We will be knocking on hundreds of thousands, if not millions of doors over these 2 days. So you are part of something big, important. You are part of a victory right now.